Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a different video. It's not going to be a makeup tutorial or a fashion haul or a makeup product review. It is just me, catching up with you guys and just having a one-on-one and, just chatting about certain things that I think might be of some interest to you. So I have a subscriber called Shruti, and we have been interacting for quite some time, since last year, and she is getting married. And while we were talking, and she got in touch with me regarding her process of losing weight, and she wanted to know certain tips on how I lost my weight before my wedding. And she was asking me just my diet and my diet routine, my exercise routine. So I was just talking to her, and she was like, why don't you make a video which will be really helpful for many brides to be, as well as people who just want to lose weight. Now I thought that was a brilliant idea because usually I have done a video where I spoke about my 4 top drinks to have if you want to kickstart your metabolism. The thing is, when your metabolism rate, gets going, when it gets high, it burns fat faster. And those are the 4 magical drinks that is really going to help you burn fat faster. But here I'm just going to talk about my weight loss journey and what actually made me lose weight, how I started the whole process. Anyway, so starting from my weight loss process, it all started before my FEMINA Miss India. When I was a teenager, I was a very fat kid. I think being born and raised in Dubai, you are so accustomed to eating fatty food and fatty, fast food. My God, my mouth is just watering thinking about it. So fast food is always in your reach. So that is something that is such a big, it's a disaster for any kid growing up in Dubai. I mean, who's not health conscious for sure. And I'm also a very emotional eater. So whenever I was called fatso, or whenever I was called tree trunks, because I had such chunky thighs, and I was someone who was so not proud of my body, and it took me a lot of time to realize that I'm a very curvy woman and I should just embrace my curves, and it's taken me a long time to realize that. Today the word fat and today the word ugly is a very sensitive word, but back in the day it wasn't as much. So what I used to do, since I was such an emotional eater, every time I felt really sad about myself, I would just eat more and more, and gradually I started putting on so much of weight to a point that I remember I hit the scale and it was about 83 kilos, which was a lot. I know I'm a tall girl, I'm about 5'9.5", and for me weight doesn't show that much, but when a tall girl puts on weight, she can tend to look like a giant. And I remember when I went to India to participate in the FEMINA Miss India contest, before participating I went from one agency to another. I would get comments like, oh my God, she's so fat, nahi yaar, don't take her because, oh, that fat model, I used to hear so much of that, and it was so demeaning that I decided to start my weight loss process. Now, yes, with the FEMINA Miss India pageant, during the whole process, you are put under 2 months of strict diet and a workout routine, which was like a boot camp, guys. Every morning there used to be a yoga session. We would wake up at around 5 o'clock in the morning, and we would start our exercise, our diet, a lot of fresh juice, and we were put on this blood category diet, which also helps because you can do a blood test and see which blood group you fall under, and each blood group has a pattern of food that they should follow. So for example, I'm O positive, and O positive people cannot have too much of red meat, because they tend to bulk up a lot more. I lost all my weight, and as you can see the pictures I'm inserting here, I lost so much of weight. From about 80 plus kilo, I went to about 56 kgs during my Miss India pageant. So I did work out, I did eat well, I followed a diet routine, but after my Miss India pageant got over and I was modeling, my weight loss has always been an ongoing battle. Again, I put on weight, I went up to about 68 kilos, and then before my wedding I shot down again to about 60 kgs. Now, The number one thing that I followed is something that was taught to me during the Miss India pageant, and it was taught to me by a Russian model, because a lot of models in Russia follow this diet. It's called the 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. diet. Now, what really happens from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., you can eat whatever you want. And when I'm saying eat whatever you want, I'm talking in moderation. It doesn't mean that you can eat like, you can have your cupcake, you can have your, your one dessert, but don't go overboard with it. Just because I'm saying you can eat whatever you want, it doesn't mean that instead of one cupcake, you have 6 cupcakes and you're like, okay, as long as, it's from 7 to 7. Now, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. diet is such that you can eat whatever you want, have a very healthy breakfast, have a healthy lunch, and have a healthy dinner. You can have a snack in between as well. The models in Russia that followed this diet even had, their vodka and their wine or whatever, even alcohol was included. I had a very good healthy breakfast. I made sure my lunch also consisted of rice and meat and pulses and, sabzi, that's vegetables. And for dinner also, like before 7 o'clock, before 7 p.m., I would have my pasta, or I would have roti, I would have, grilled chicken, whatever. I made sure I ate heavy, and so that I don't get hungry later. And I also would have a sweet dish. So it would be like sweet yogurt, or it would be a fruit, or whatever it was. I made sure that I had something to, satisfy my sweet cravings. After 7 p.m., you cannot even have a morsel to eat, not even a grain. I mean, that's what makes this diet a bit difficult, because it looks easy. Oh, I can eat anything from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But trust me, your cravings start to kick in after 7 p.m. Make sure you have a lot of liquids. Fluids that I'm asking you to drink is plenty of water, or the cinnamon tea, or the coriander, and the cumin water that I spoke about in my video, in that 4-step guide to kickstarting your metabolism. Just follow it, guys, because the amount of feedback that I've got from people who have followed it and have seen a difference in their body, it's quite remarkable. I swear by it. I've seen a difference, because I was borderline diabetic, and for me to get away from that because of cinnamon water, I mean, seriously, it has really helped me. So I would just drink my cinnamon water, and I would just drink my coriander and jeera water, cumin water. And also, if there was a smoothie for breakfast that I wanted to have, I would have it all before 7 p.m. So the smoothie I spoke about in that video is the ABC. I follow it as the ABC rule. That is apple, beetroot, and carrot with a little mint and coriander. It was given to us during my Miss India pageant, and it was something that a dietitian would like force feed us, because it had all the nutrients, and you don't need anything else beside this wonderful nutritious drink. Trust me on that. So yeah, those are the things that I followed. Now, when it came to exercise, I'm not someone who loves the gym. I have a complete aversion towards gym and a routine. I prefer outdoor activities. So I remember during the FEMINA Miss India, all of our exercises were outdoors. But after that, the way I maintained it even before the wedding is I only went for brisk walks. But brisk walking, which I did before my wedding, I cannot tell you how much of fat it burned. I would walk for about 45 minutes in the morning, and in the evening for another 30 minutes. So that means I would work out twice. And then from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I followed that diet. I would eat anything I wanted. And I'm talking anything again, I'm specifying it that I had my carbs, and I had grilled fish, and I had my grilled chicken and my vegetables. Whatever was home cooked meal, I had it. But I made sure I had a lot of home cooked food. I reduced the intake of outside food, because you don't know what kind of oil or what kind of ingredients goes into it. When it comes to home cooking, you know exactly what's going into it. You know the amount of oil that you're adding. Say, I'm not talking you against going to a gym or going for your classes. I mean, I'm just talking about moving your body and getting into a routine. My way of moving was brisk walking. I would recommend brisk walking to everybody, because it burns such serious amount of fat. It's just so amazing for the body. Walking is one of the greatest exercise, and it's so underrated, I'm telling you. But it definitely helped me, because I remember I went down again to about 60 kilos from I was about 71 prior to my wedding, again, I put on weight and I went to 60 kgs. Whenever I wake up, the first thing I do, even today, is I drink a glass of cold water. Now, when you drink cold water, it just kickstarts your metabolism in your stomach. It just helps your stomach, start working and start burning the fat, or, it's getting your stomach really ready when you drink a glass of cold water. After that, I make my cinnamon tea. Now, what I do is, in a cup of hot boiling water, I put freshly ground cinnamon powder, not the one that I buy from, the store, because I make my own cinnamon powder, so I know what is going in there. And I put organic honey into it and I drink it. I let it cool down a little bit and I drink that warm cinnamon tea. After the cinnamon tea, I have absolutely nothing to eat for half an hour. You need to give a half an hour, 30 minutes break after you have that cinnamon tea. After that, you can have whatever you want. You can continue with your breakfast, with your lunch, and then dinner, which should stop sharp at 7 p.m. After 7 p.m., I give myself a good break of about 2-3 hours. So at about 9 o'clock, I have my second cup of cinnamon tea, because there should be absolutely nothing going into your tummy after 7 p.m. excepting hot water or normal water, and finishing it off with cinnamon tea. Now, the next day I alternate, and the alternate tea that I have is coriander and cumin water. So I have shown the whole process. I'm not going to explain that to you. The process has been explained very much in detail in that video. Just drink a cup of that after I drink my cold water again. And then, just to amp it up a little bit, I will have my vegetable smoothie, and that is the apple, beetroot and carrot smoothie with more mint and more coriander, which is so good for you. At night, after 7 p.m, again, I'm specifying I eat absolutely nothing after 7 p.m. I just finish it off with another mug of the coriander jeera water. Another alternate that I'm going to give you, which will also help you burn fat a little more faster, is by making that same jeera and coriander but not boiling it. What you really need to do is, the previous night you need to soak in the water a teaspoon of coriander seeds, a teaspoon of cumin seeds, and half a teaspoon of fenugreek seeds. Now just let that marinate and soak in the water and just keep it overnight. Next day morning, when you get up and you follow that glass of cold water routine, just make sure that you take a mug of this water and you drink it as well. Do the same thing at night. If you want to, have one in the afternoon also, that's your call. It's pretty good for you. It is going to burn fat faster. These are the steps that I followed with my workout routine, and that's how I lost so much of weight, guys. And the best part about it is because this drink has so many nutrients that when I lost weight the proper way, I remember that for my wedding, I did not lose the brightness and in my skin. My hair was shining, my skin looked much more better. You have a very dull looking skin if you lose weight the wrong way, which I did not. In fact, I looked so much fresher, and I looked, I don't know, I felt like there was a glow in my face, and my hair felt so shiny, and it started growing. If you follow a proper way of losing weight, then definitely you will see such a huge difference in your skin and your hair as well. Another 2 key factors to losing weight, guys, is first, do not stress out. Stress adds a lot of weight, and I know for a bride-to-be there is so much of stress that she carries, arranging things and how things are going to fall into place. But trust me, stress is just not going to help you. It's not your best friend. In fact, stress is going to make you put on weight, or it will give you such a drastic weight loss, and it will affect your skin and your hair, and you want to look your best for your wedding. So make sure that during your workout routine, just kick in about 15 minutes of meditation. Just relax, do some positive affirmations. All this really helps, guys. I mean, we mock when people talk about positive affirmations, but there is so much of truth to the positive affirmations, the things that it can change about you, your body image. Look at yourself in the mirror and appreciate yourself and feel good about yourself, and think positively that everything will fall into place. The wedding will fall into place. God will guide you in making sure that your wedding will be conducted beautifully. Forget the wedding. If you are someone who's in this journey of losing weight for practically no reason but for health factor, that also think positively that you will lead a healthy lifestyle. You need to start thinking positively and you need to feel good about yourself. So I would say positive affirmations and meditation definitely help me. Another thing that which I need to also follow right now is I remember sleeping on time. I cannot emphasize on really good sleep rituals because I would make sure that I would shut down my mobile, my iPad, my computer, everything by around 11 o'clock, and I would get a good 8 to 9 hours of rest. The amount of rest you get definitely plays a factor on your weight loss routine, because when you don't get proper sleep, when you don't sleep and your body is tired, a tired body always craves for sugar. When you follow a routine, you would notice by around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you would automatically, your body starts to get tired and you would want to, just get some shut-eye, go to sleep, and then again you will wake up at around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Do not wake up after 9 o'clock because, don't make your body that lethargic and lazy. Make sure that you wake up early morning. Now, a sleep routine is something that I've gotten into a bad habit right now, and I'm trying my level best to get into the routine that I had during Miss India days and during my, pre-wedding, the schedule that I followed. During my Miss India pageant also, I remember they gave me a lot of tender coconut water. I reduced red meat completely out of my diet. I made sure that it was only white meat that I had in my diet and a lot of vegetables. So I would have my chicken curry, my, my grilled chicken, but red meat was completely cut off from my diet, and that is something I did even prior to my wedding. Just be patient with it. Do not give up. Have yourself that one cheat day. On a Sunday, I made sure that I ate as much as I wanted. I had my butter chicken, I had my rumali roti, I had my butter naan, I had my dal makhni. You name it, I had it all on a Sunday. But every other day, I really worked hard on maintaining my weight, on working out, and at the same time having my drinks and staying away from sugar, coffee, tea, all those things that are going to add extra weight onto you. So I really hope that this has been really helpful for you. This process I wanted to talk about ever since I had a chat with Shruti. Shruti, I wish you the very best for your wedding, but for my girls who are brides to be, as well as new mothers who are struggling with their weight, and at the same time, I'm talking about just girls and boys who want to get onto an healthy lifestyle. This is my journey and this is my process on how I lost my weight. It's not as difficult as it seems. It sounds difficult, but trust me, it is quite easy. You just need to follow a certain pattern and a routine. So I hope that has really helped you, and yeah, I just wanted this to be a very casual chit chat video, and there's going to be more of such. I'm going to be talking about how I improved my skin, how I improved my hair in the same pattern, in the same manner. So I hope you like it, and I shall see you very soon in my next. Bye for now.